Okay, so here I am thinking about unresolved conflicts. You know, unresolved conflicts have not been dealt with, they've just been left to show up another day. Unresolved conflicts are like submarines in a raging ocean, coming up, surfacing, going back down, coming back up. We shove it back down, and then we think, okay, I'm not going to have to think about that for a while. But here's an example that I use. Unresolved conflicts are draining you and you don't even know they're running. You know, there was a time in using my phone that I didn't realize that every app that I'd opened was still running because I hadn't clicked my phone twice, and then they show up and then you log them off. How many of you know that those things were running? I couldn't see them because I was seeing what was on my screen. I couldn't see them, but guess what? They were still running and they were literally draining my battery. So I've got to move. Hold on just a second. So guess what? All that energy was going towards keeping those apps going. And I didn't even know such a thing existed until somebody pointed it out to me. They said, "How many of those do you have open?" I said, "Well, I don't know. I didn't even know they were there." And then how many of you know that they looked at me? You know that look that your smart friends give you when you are ignorant, okay? So I've had to receive that look many times. So they looked at me like, "Well, didn't you know you've got to clear those off at the end of every day, maybe even multiple times a day, depending on how much you're using your phone?" I was like, "Oh, okay." So how many of you know many of us are like this? Is that we've got a lot of unresolved conflicts that are literally running behind the scenes, and we don't even realize they're still draining life from us. My goodness, the energy that it takes to maintain all of that, to keep all that going, and then guess what happens? Then you run into some situation, run into some person, and it triggers that unresolved conflict, and boom, here it comes to the surface. My friends, we've got to get into the place where we are willing to face unresolved conflicts and to face them with God in the full power of the cross of Jesus Christ. And then we're going to be able to walk and look into things and not even flinch. Doesn't that